the inflation numbers that have come in from the US. That could be a major market mover, especially for the US. Inflation inching for the second consecutive month. What does it mean as far as rate hike cycle is concerned? Will there be a pause? Will the hike cycle continue unabated? What are your, what are you picking up? What are your views on inflation inching up in the US?
No, like I said earlier, possibly we should see a rate hike. The next time we have the Fed meet. So I think that would be negative for the global markets and especially the Indian markets, and because of which we'll see the FII selling still continuing further.
Okay, it's surprising you say that because about 99% of the researchers, analysts that we're reading about are expecting Fed to pause that rate hike cycle this time around.
No, because looking at the sort of a statement which they had made, the hawkish statement, and looking at the way the inflation is still inching up, I believe that this is very much possible.
All right, Ambareesh, I know you're down with the fever. Please do take care of yourself, and
Thank you.
we will hopefully get you back very soon. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. But staying on with that story, the rate hike, whether it'll happen, whether it won't happen, all of that, of course, is very speculative at the moment, Amit. But what we do know for sure is that the inflation is inching up. And inflation inching up on the back of higher energy prices, which is a pain point for a lot of people in the US.
Yeah, so it has the consumer price index has risen 3.7% in August, up from 3.2% that it had risen year on year in July. Core inflation, core prices rose 4.3%, which was little less
Marginal.
than 4.7% in July, but it is far from what the Federal Reserve's target of 2% is.
Mm-hmm.
Consumer prices rose 0.6%, which is the highest in last 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these, and I agree with Ambareesh, all of these point to another rate hike from the Fed, because their target is 2%, and that is more than double the figures. So what that you can expect another rate hike, and it will not be good for India, because money will be sucked back in over there.
All right, and another rate hike, absolutely, another rate hike, if that happens, will not be good for India, will not be good for the US markets as well. You know, what's concerning to me, Suyash, is that it's not just the core inflation, it's not just the headline inflation, it's also core inflation. So your food prices, energy prices are going up, as well as core inflation that likely is and will continue to remain higher in months to come.
Definitely, Shweta, because core inflation is something that Federal Reserve takes cues from, because core inflation is something that is not as volatile as the food and energy prices, Shweta. So Fed keeps a track of the core inflation to take cues about what the interest rates would be going forward. Now, whether they'll hike interest rates in the next meet or not, Ambareesh is of a very interesting opinion that Fed may look to hike interest rates. By how much, we don't know, but 97% of the analysts are expecting a pause in the September 20 outcome of the FOMC, although they are very divided when it comes to the November meet. Now, 48% of the analysts expect the rates to be maintained in the November meet. So we are seeing a little bit of concern over there. What will be the the long-term trajectory of the crude prices, which have risen to a 10-month high? What will be the situation with the food prices because of the monsoon and supply chain concerns? So a lot of things that we would need to keep an eye on, and I think a lot of it will be answered when the FOMC meets next week and the results come out. Also, we'll be taking the minutes which will come out a week or two later after the results.
All right. So in September, it will be clear what the rate hike trajectory will be for the US and resultant impact not just on US markets but also on India markets.